biology. So specifically,
I sent it through PDF.
no more here. Even capturing.
Not about WhatsApp. I can just capture and send it to you.
Yes, just capture and send. So we
Okay,
are
sir.
looking at digestion. Pemperani, madam, where you are, pray.
Thank you, Jehovah God, for this wonderful day that you have given unto us. We pray that you be with us as we begin this lesson and end with us. We ask all this in the name of Jesus.
Amen. So before, we need to know what is digestion first of all. And terms tumbi, and then we now proceed. So I want you to say digestion. Are you there? So let us write a definition of not only digestion, but I want us to write these processes. The definition of digestion. We'll start with number one. Which is digestion. We'll start with indigestion first of all. Indigestion. And then twala kuli digestion. Then twala kuli absorption. And then twala kuli assimilation. So those are the terms I want us to focus on. And digestion we did yesterday. So this will help us to know how food moves from the mouth all the way until to the anus. Okay? So we want to look at when the food is eaten in the mouth, it's broken down. Some are not broken down, are just absorbed. Yeah. So what is indigestion? In your book, I want you to say, indigestion is the taking in of food into the mouth. Just not chewing, the taking in of food into the mouth. That's what indigestion is all about. The taking in of food in the mouth. That is indigestion. The intake of food into the mouth. That is indigestion. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, our books differ for digestion. Other books will just say digestion is a breaking down of food. Okay? But others will say digestion is a breaking down of large pieces of food into smaller ones. Are you there?
Yes.
Digestion is a breaking...
What definition did you start with?
What?
What's definition did you start with? Is it digestion or ingestion?
Indigestion, not putapari ingestion. Ingestion we said is the intake of food in the mouth, the taking of food into the mouth.
Okay.
Yes, the taking of food into the mouth. That is indigestion. And then digestion, we are saying the breaking down of large pieces of food into smaller ones, which can be utilized by the body tissues. So you can write that one, breaking down of large pieces of food into smaller ones, which can be utilized by the body tissues. When you break down the food, your body tissues, tissues, group of cells are called tissues, okay? Yes. So ngatwalia, our tissues, they should use that food. Now, there are some food which are not digested, like vitamins. You can't digest vitamins. They are just absorbed. So what is absorption? Are you there?
Yes.
So absorption is the uptake of soluble food into the bloodstream, or the movement of soluble food into the bloodstream. The movement of soluble food into the bloodstream. Soluble, if you are liquid, if you are digested, they go direct into the bloodstream. They fuse in. So absorption is the movement of soluble food into the bloodstream, or the uptake. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
There is assimilation. Mwalia, you've taken your food into the mouth. We call that indigestion, right?
Yes.
That food has been broken down into smaller pieces. We call that digestion. And that food has entered your bloodstream. We call that
Absorption.
Now, what next? The food has entered your bloodstream. What next? It is assimilation. So assimilation, you say, is the uses or the usage. If you want, you can say it is the uses or the usage of absorbed food by the tissues or cells. The usage or the uses. Ngayashupa usage kuti mwabomvye uses. The usage or uses of absorbed food by the body tissues. Phone yako inalonga? Are we there?
Yes.
The uses agent of absorbed food. Me, I'm understanding very well.
Because you have it.
Uribe, mwadya kansima. That is indigestion. You break down mulesheta. That is digestion. That food mwanwina pona menshi fyaba fi soluble. It will enter your bloodstream. That is absorption. Now, your body tissues will start using that shema which has been absorbed, maybe to run, to talk, to sleep, like madamu ngoma, shipula. It means your body tissues are using what you were eating.
Okay.
Yes. So that is the assimilation. Now, nga fyafirikwa ifyo adinafu olofo mulire tafiweme fyalafuma. If what you have eaten is not what your body needed, trust me, those things are going to be, they are going to come out of the anus, which is egestion. Is the removal of undigested food from the body through the anus. Okay? The removal of undigested food from the body through the anus. Yes, niyo packing here. Uyenda. The removal of undigested food from the body through the anus. The food which has not been broken down because muladya olubiro, mulakitashani. Yeah. Okay. Deal done. Deal done. Are you getting what we are saying? So
Yes,
there is a paper that I will share. They had said, write briefly on the following. Like, you just write brief things about the following: validatory, absorption, digestion, assimilation, digestion of poyas.
okay.
Now that we've understood, now that we understand what we have talked about, we 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 want to understand now how how is that digested. Okay, how is the starch digested? Where's my cupboard? My cupboard is here. So we want to understand, number one, starch how starch is digested. How starch is digested. We want to understand how proteins are digested. We want to understand how fats are digested. That's all. How are they digested, these things? Nga mwali obwali. So let's start with starch. First of all, before I begin, you need to mention, let's go check that thing where we did last time. Before we look at any digestion type, we when you're explaining, you have to mention where it starts from. You need to mention the region. You need to mention the region where it starts from. Simcha bus fair. So we need to make a picture of. Okay. So we need to know the region where does it take place. Is it in the mouth? Is it in the stomach? Duodenum, jejunum, ileum, and then you need to mention enzymes. Enzymes and you need to state where it ends from. That's all. Here, the first one, it is the start region. Are we following, Madam Jane? Madam Jane, Madam Ngoma.
I'm here, sir.
So nga muleti tati bamye batu bwali bubashani digested or rice or kandolo. How is kandolo digested? You have to say where it starts from. Ama enzymes yabamu involved and where it ends from. Okay?
It starts from the mouth.
So let's start. Let's start with starch. So I want you to say the digestion begins in the mouth. Okay?
Yes.
Secondly, you say by an enzyme called salivary amylase. That's all. By an enzyme called salivary amylase. By an enzyme called salivary amylase. So that's what happens in the mouth. The digestion of starch will start in the mouth by an enzyme called salivary amylase. Number two, so if I ask you a question, in the stomach, do we have the digestion of starch in the stomach? No, we don't have. In the stomach, we have a digestion of proteins.
Okay.
Mumala mupita fefile kala move but tafiba digested. It will just stay there mwamva kwati but nae kuta. That's why muma mukadya mumvera pamene paja kukuta because the food has not yet been fully digested. So ngayafuma mumala, where next does it go? Kala kati tumbo kana mbawanu ati duodenum. I don't know if you are seeing how we are moving. Twachambira na mouth. We go to stomach, but we said in the stomach it will just stay without being digested. Then you go to duodenum. Last ni mujejuna. This is a sequence of Ofiende Findwif. That's the sequence of how it moves. But the stomach is a question mark here. It's just a storage. Nothing happens there for starch. So we have to continue that statement with to say the digestion continues. Oh, yeah. There's something that I have forgotten. Sorry. I don't know how you indicate it. But that what them but by salivary amylase, we need to write somewhere to say after Twalemba's arrival at Miles, you need to say it converts starch to maltose. Efo twakirabako mu kanwa. So in the mouth, starch balayitobolola to maltose. So if nga mwali obwali barabupiribula muli maltose. Maltose alibako a bit soluble filia. Fuma fibwali fya mukanwa fya teka ko filia kwa tu menji filia. Maltose. So now let's continue to say the digestion continues.
This same maltose, it's what? It's in saliva?
Filia bamukwati muli amate fya so.
Okay.
Meaning you've broken down the starch kile kibwali mwakitobolola muli maltose. Mumala, we said no digestion takes place in the mouth. Yara chita continues in the duodenum. Now, what happens in the duodenum? Again, nga kwachiba starch tayachibako converted. So again, it is starch. Starch is converted to maltose by an enzyme called pancreatic amylase. So mu duodenum, starch nga mwakira alya fast fyapita mu kanwa tafiri bambi balamina fino omukusu tuntulu without okusheta. You've seen such, especially at a house where there is poverty. Just trying to fill up the stomach. So please, let's work hard so that our children should not be swallowing imikusu ishitunturu. So a person will just swallow the chonshima. So starch won't be converted. Ya laugh the way it is. But balaba ikatemu duodenum. So in the duodenum, that is where the starch now, the starch will be converted to maltose by the enzyme called pancreatic amylase. Madam Jane, you can bear with me that we did ama digestive juices from the pancreas. Kwaliba pancreatic amylase, pancreatic trypsin, and pancreatic lipase.
But on the notes for yesterday, you said the function of the
pancreas
duodenum is just to it's where the digestion of fats begins and ends.
Yes. So now in the duodenum, the starch just starch it digested in the mouth. It will be broken to maltose in the duodenum, but doesn't end there. No. So now the lastly you say this digestion ends. You say this digestion ends in the jejunum. So where it ends, it's in the jejunum. It ends in the jejunum. So what happens in the jejunum? It ends in the jejunum where Where maltase converts maltose to glucose. That's all. Yes, I'm done. Eh? Kambani hapo. I don't know if we are getting it. Eh. We started from the mouth. Starch will be broken to maltose by salivary amylase. Okay? And the food will go where in the stomach, isn't it?
Yes.
But does digestion of starch happens in the stomach? Ubwari burabapo digested wikala mofie for about 2 hours. Okay? But it will go there in the jejunum, in the duodenum. And in the duodenum, the undigested starch will be converted to maltose. Again to maltose. By the enzyme called pancreatic amylase. And then where there's the digestion of shima, bananas, pineapples, where does it end from? Baba idea. Ko. Where does it end? In the jejunum. Jejunum amatumbo yaba mumbali umwine. Mumba fum. That's where the digestion of if you are calling filifionzo from wadia, bakandoro, sweet potatoes. And what happens there? The maltase, quite by enzyme what we touch maltase, H to convert final now, maltose to glucose. So the final product is glucose. Nisha hapo digestion of starch. Proteins. First of all, fats. Fats mwalase kofo ya chitika. Yali bafanya fats. Fats/lipids. Do you know where the digestion of fats begins from? Where does it begin from? In the mouth.
It begins there and it ends from there.
Yes, in the mouth, it is just physical digestion where you just break it. Fats feta broken down. Marach tafe reduce size fie. But chemical digestion, you can't break fats in the mouth. But in the duodenum, that is where it will be start from. So there you are writing to say the digestion of fats begins in the duodenum. It begins in the duodenum. Okay. It begins in the duodenum and ends in the duodenum. Now, what really happens in the duodenum? So, Kulan that the bowel salts produced by the liver, the bowel salts breaks down large fats to smaller pieces for easy digestion. Bile salts produced by the liver breaks down large fats to smaller pieces for easy digestion. You've written that? So the last part you say easy. The enzyme called pancreatic, pancreatic lipase fats. That's an enzyme that digests fats. The enzyme called pancreatic lipase converts fats to fatty acids and glycerol. Not to remember glycerin, madam. It is glycerol. Let me check for the proper spelling of glycerol here. Okay, glycerol, it's Glycerol. Glycerol. Are we there?
Yes.
So, mwanvu efichitika mu duodenum. For the digestion of fats begins in the duodenum and ends in the duodenum. Now, how does it begin? How does it end? It begins by the bile salts. Bile salt isangwa mu liver. Fimoneke fya yellow so nga ninkoko mwatumbula muli kalya kulabako ila liquid ya yellow ilya ini. Mulaimona kati nga ni munondo nga ni munshi nga mwalepula so ya yellow ilya. That's bile. Okay? Sometimes kulaba kwa chinga ni ndusha ya green ilya. Kala lula kati anga tamukafumisheko ni kunkoko kabaka, isn't it? Yes. So, yonse ali ama bile salts yali anga mwa yarachita break down large fats to smaller pieces and write somewhere, don't forget, the breaking down of large fats to smaller pieces is called emulsification. In case they ask you, when you break down large fats to smaller pieces by bile salt, it's called emulsification. Okay? Emulsification, the breaking down of large fats into smaller droplets by bile salts. Okay?
Breaking down of what?
Breaking down of large fats to smaller pieces. Have you ever wondered why feces are either color green or color yellow?
Because of the food that we eat.
Takwava, wala.
Because of the bow.
Yes, because of bow. Bow ya green na yellow. Remember I mentioned about the colors. You get the idea, ka? In biology, I love biology, don't insult. Kwa baba nyafe green yeka fe. Bambi yellow yeka fe yellow. Blue ni njia wadi kwa ta condition if you wadi wala. So the bow is the one. So the bow is the one. Yes, the bow. It produces the color according to the food that you are eating, isn't it? The food that you are feeding on. Kulaba fe yarubana fe bow fe yambo kuchita fe produce fimbi shani. Ine fe ilamona, but it adds color to the feces. The color it will choose. But yeah, food also contributes. Akwa fe muliafi ama vegetables fe green. I think it's due to the food when you're eating normal like diet. Yeah. Yeah, it's true because badaba dyasane fuma paprika shani ama beans. Yeah, that is true. Kula bakale fuma twa yellow here and there. What's up, people? Chinzo Chikaya. This is Prof Mbanga. Yeah, in the street of Kawata, as you can see. This is our home base. Yeah. Tuwa parwendo. Are we there? We are there. You're still walking. Yeah. Yeah, but I'll be there. I'm just within the wood here. I was just taking a walk. Iringi, I take a walk when teaching. Abana kunande chongo. So, we are okay with a bow, right? Adding color to feces, breaking down large fats to smaller fats called emulsification. Nine. Okay, let's end with proteins in nama. Shira kokola, meat to be digested. It takes a very, 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 very long time. According to our research, yeah, our proteins are kokola, especially meat. Kokola the sana na 1 week you are digested. Because ila tukwata double, mulaba ma fats, futi, ama proteins yene. But either way, it begins in the mouth. So you say the digestion of proteins begins in the mouth. So here we are looking at protein. So we are looking at protein digestion. So number one, we've said begins in the mouth. Begins, sorry, in the stomach, yeah. In the stomach. Takwava. Mouth in physical. The chemical digestion of proteins begins in the stomach. You need to mention the enzyme, but an enzyme by an enzyme called pepsin. By an enzyme called pepsin. You are there? By an enzyme called pepsin. Now, what does this pepsin do to proteins? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. When you eat eggs, nkoko, amasavi, what happens to kumasavi yadya? Bala chinja. So you continue to say by pepsin full stop. You say pepsin converts proteins. Pepsin convert proteins to peptides. Pepsins converts proteins to peptides. So like ama proteins nga mwaya toba kusanga mwama peptides. And then ama peptides nga mwaya toba kusanga muno mbefya last of twalala. Mwapuish. So where does the digestion of proteins begins from?
In the stomach.
By what enzyme? What is the enzyme that begins this digestion?
Pepsin.
So what does pepsin do to proteins?
It converts protein to
Peptides. Nishapwa yafumamu.
Me, I'm even dosing now.
I will take a last part. It's a last part. It's a last part. So now, it goes in the duodenum. Remember, in the stomach, food only lasts about 2 hours. So if you could yatafikara sana. So it goes in the duodenum. So you say the digestion continues in the duodenum. It continues in the duodenum. It's like a last part. And what happens in the duodenum? Pancreatic trypsin pancreatic trypsin converts more proteins to peptides. Then the last sentence you say, this digestion ends in the jejunum. Inendelembama shortcut hapa, follow my voice. What I am writing is not what I am saying. Follow what I am saying. In the duodenum, the pancreatic trypsin, which is an enzyme there, the pancreatic trypsin converts more proteins to peptides. Full stop.
Teacher Manga, you said it ends where?
In the jejunum. Mlamwina malaya mumbali. It ends in the jejunum by an enzyme called peptides, like this. By an enzyme called peptides, which converts peptides to amino acids. That's all. Done and dusted for all the digestion of food in this world. Ku America, ku Zimbabwe, mu Zambia, that is what we go through from childhood to death. So you need to master how they are digested because you never know what they will ask for. Tomorrow we have to continue with the genetics. Should have a good night. I will screenshot and I will send the exam questions based on this topic. Number because you don't send the work that I give you.
That's it. Then the question, Madam Elizabeth. Sir, Madam. Biology, you pass better when you're doing discussions. You know that, huh? Aye.
Yes, Pama Sundays, very in program, Pama Sundays.
We should make a program we should be discussing. Even just during the week, we should just find time that we can be discussing. Even for 1 hour, we do a paper, because when you just start maybe from 2014 coming down, we can't fail. Because I've seen the questions, yes, I've been moving in most of the papers that I've been seeing. So a day we do a paper, a day we do a paper. That's a good one. Yeah, so we'll discuss in the group and see how we can be doing it. Even just during the... What time do you knock off from home? I knock off around 17:30. 17:30. Anyway, we'll see how we can be. We can even be doing it 4:20. Yes. If that's possible, yeah. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we just need to make programs for those days, yeah. It's important. Okay, good night. We'll discuss more. Okay. So, we'll send the way.
Yeah, I'll send the way up and sakila my questions up and that's the forward. Okay, Murare Buino.
Let's go.
So these are the how exam questions come under section B. So find time to do those things so that you don't lag behind. So that's Nasalide, Pari Digestion. So these are exam questions. Not yeah. Section B, Aresa. So kukata for patients looking for these questions. Otherwise, you will benefit a lot from them. Think, huh?